Appreciation August is on 1 week early at integrativemysticism.com. From now until the 31st of August 2020, enjoy 20% off all Scarlet Moon services, including gift certificates when you apply the codes on your screen. We are now also accepting tips and donations for those of you who've been requesting that for the last 7 years. You can now leave a tip or a donation at my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Virgo. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days, and it looks to be that this week is the week for a lot of Virgos to take a lot of ideas, or maybe even a lot of dreams and goals, out of the journals, out of the dream state, and actually start physicalizing them, start actually putting things into production. And that's kind of an important thing to remember to do every once in a while. You know, you can't just hold a thought form. You can't just hold an energy form hoping that simply maintaining and holding that intention and that energy itself is going to do all the work. The best way to actually start creating a different reality or changing your reality is to start physicalizing that which you are holding on the etheric. And that is something that is stepping out here, especially in the Seven of Cups upright as the spiritual theme of the week. We talk about physicalization of dreams, of manifestations, committing to new roads. And instead of leaving all of our options up in the air and being spoiled for choice, which can often be, pretty much a way to paralysis, we need to be able to actually take something and give it a tangible form. Start actually cementing and committing through action, and the idea of bringing something into the physical, to a new road. Because the Seven of Cups upright is presenting not necessarily a warning, but just sort of a reminder that things that you are holding on to as far as goals, aspirations, dreams, and agendas, so long as you just keep them, a dream, an aspiration, and an agenda, then it will always just only be stored in a space where it can't actually take on a life of its own. So it's time to actually start birthing our creations. It's time to actually start birthing and setting something up. Now, with the Seven of Cups upright, it is also important to understand that when we are making these things happen, it's important to make sure that what we are creating is compatible with what else we are creating. We don't want to necessarily start trying to create a whole bunch of different life streams that are going to compete and battle with each other over and over and over again. If you're trying to, say, start a new relationship right now, but you also want to move 5,000 miles away in 3 months, that is going to be not necessarily the most complementary pair of energies to try and work with at the same time. So as we go through this process of trying to physicalize what you are trying to create, make sure that, of course, you are doing it. This is a week of implementation. It's a do it now kind of moment, no matter how small, so that you can actually watch the snowball effect happen. If you've been sitting on these things for too long, now is the time to stop sitting. As we get on to your material concerns when it comes to your wealth, your finances, your professional aspirations, we have the Queen of Cups in reverse, and it does look like a great deal of time and energy is going to be spent on redeeming and healing what might be seen as a maligned craft, a maligned art, or a maligned space within your professional life. The Queen of Cups reverse can often show up where something is being maligned, or maybe actually operating in a way that is less than its full potential, because it is being used to serve baser needs, or used to serve lower priorities, being used to maybe even a detriment. This can happen often when we find that maybe something that we are doing at work, or something that is going on with our own personal craft, our own money, is suddenly following maybe a leader or a trend, or maybe a fashion that is ultimately dysfunctional, or not necessarily doing what's in the highest interest of all concerned. And with the Queen of Cups being reversed, you're being told of a weakness that is actually an opportunity for you. It may have been hard to fight against this trend or whatever has been going on, to turn this around in the past as it relates to your money, or maybe something going on in your job or your pursuit of a job. But the Queen of Cups reversed showing that weakness is now indicating that it's not as strong as it used to be. And if you had encountered resistance in the past here, now is the time where you will find that that resistance is very, very weak, thus allowing you to maybe get through doors that were once blocked off to you, maybe even negotiate where you were refused. And this could actually secure, yes, not only new abundance and new work opportunities, but possibly a new love and a new space for you to hold when it comes to your craft, when it comes to how you want to make your abundance and your mark on the world. As we get on to your communications or your community card, we talk about friends and relatives and other people. Well, we've got the Emperor card in reverse and a broken dictator who needs others to create for them is out of luck, it looks like. Now, I don't know if you might call this person a friend. Well, this person might be more of a contact, possibly a member of your family or a member of your community. Seems to be struggling to hold up, their own reality at this time. But I'm actually getting with the Emperor card reversed, there is a warning about maybe getting too involved or getting anywhere near this situation, whether you are trying to fix it and serve and help them, or to fight it and to prevent it from coming into being. The Emperor card reversed can often show up where there is somebody who is reaching the end of their rope. And this is not somebody who is actually good at what they do. Maybe they're not living authentically, or they are simply, again, at the mercy of other people as to whether or not their reality is actually coming up at all. And they are finding the crumbling and the dismantling has finally come to their kingdom and to their very throne room. This person, I feel, again, when I say broken dictator, is somebody that you really have no business even interacting with, but it may be a bit of an annoyance or a bit of a nuisance this week when you start to find the pressure or the drama that's coming up around this person starts to feel as though you need to weigh in, that you need to participate, that you need to engage. Let that reign of terror fall. As we get to your challenge this week or your personal lesson this week, we have the Eight of Pentacles upright, and we have discipline and passions needing to start getting to work for you, all right? Or maybe helping yourself by allowing the physicalization of your ideals start to go to work for you. And when I say going to work for you, I mean very much like what we said with the Seven of Cups, making sure something that is not just a nice idea or a wouldn't it be nicety suddenly actually gets a chance to have its day in the sun. Because with the Eight of Pentacles, we are always talking about discipline. We are always talking about practice and structure. And my first thing to say when it comes to the Eight of Pentacles is get your house in order, get your office in order. Maybe literally, but also maybe figuratively speaking. Where is it that you are stepping into a space where suddenly you are going from being somebody who is treating maybe something as a hobby or a bit of an escape in the world and turning it into something that you can put to work for yourself? You all have something that you should be doing here. When it comes to love and relationships, we have the Four of Pentacles upright. And honestly, it looks like there is a strong lack of availability to have love be sort of a big part of this week. But remember, it's just for 1 week. I'm not giving you a personal reading about the rest of your life. No reader giving general horoscopes to general populations is doing that, even if they pretend they are. But there's an interesting shift here with this Four of Pentacles, because it does look like a lot of couples, and even those of you who are single and maybe chatting or available, are going to be finding that their priorities are pulling them in multiple different directions. Not necessarily away from each other in esteem or in affection, but just away from time spending with one another, or time to be spent with one another, rather. And it feels like with the Four of Pentacles, this does look like things that we can't necessarily do as a couple or as a unit. This is definitely, partner's journey needing to be handled by partner alone. Your journey needing to be handled by you alone. Same thing goes for those of you looking for new folks. You might be meeting some new people that we could, of course, come back and chat with, maybe talk about, how'd your day go, that kind of thing. But any kind of major big stories, well, I kind of really just feel this sense that love itself is going through a bit of a pause this week. And again, it's just for 1 week, but this does also, with the Four of Pentacles, indicate a need for maybe all participants in this new or established relationship to, of course, give that love, energy, and investment to their own journeys this week. And that way, of course, this enriches the relationship. We want that. We want to actually have our journeys, of course, meet back, right? To run in a more parallel, more happy, more peaceful, easy, smooth road. Sometimes we have to go about this. We have to go about these parts in the story. And so this is one of those weeks. Even with new people and people you start chatting up with, you're going to be noticing there's some unfinished business that they've got going on, probably not even related to their love life, just their life in general, getting everything squared away, getting everyone's ducks in a row, and then we can start something in earnest, okay? So it's not saying that nothing's going to happen, but I would not expect big things to come from the small tokens and small opportunities to, to be here with us this week. This is definitely a week about so much else, as we've already been discussing. And I think the same applies to your partner. So that's your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me or take advantage of the sale or leave a tip or donation, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.